So, in the year of our Lord, 2024, EA managed to have a product that lives in such a weird space where your product can actually be fairly bad and you can still receive a lot of sales from it. And this has largely to do with A, lack of competition, and B, the fact that this becomes the livelihood of online influencers that then are forced to continue consuming a product even if the product doesn't work. And they're predisposed to pretend that the product works and continue using the product and to spread the product even further, because if people dislike and abandon the product, they are effectively out of livelihood and out of a job. And all of this process can take place outside of EA even needing to pay anybody, because anyone that creates a whole brand on a product that already exists doesn't really need any endorsement or money from the company that made the original product. They're just an add-on onto the brand, and you see this with highly specialized channels. Like, for example, you see this with RuneScape channels, you see this with Morrowind channels, you see this with Elder Scrolls channels, you see this with Skyrim channels. A singular channel is highly specialized onto a specific game, and as such the person that made the channel feels like they cannot escape said game and they can't leave it. And normally a lot of this channel specific thing for the most part gets created on top of single player games that are already having lived out their lifespan. So for example, Skyrim, Morrowind, that sort of thing. Therefore, the creator that starts a channel based on this one game already knows what to expect. There isn't really any updates, there isn't anything that can break their game or make their gaming experience a bit more shit. It's not gonna happen. It is not quite so when you get people engaged and excited about a game 10 years before, and you're still updating and creating for it 10 years later. It becomes a bit like an MMO, except that this one is a buggy single-player mess. This is a fairly bad place to be, and I want to talk about this a bit more in depth and to just say, oh hey, don't judge this person, this isn't the Sims 4 influencers bad, this is just me going, I hope that they find the strength within themselves to move off from this, because obviously this is not a very healthy thing. To illustrate my point, I will first need to show you what I mean, which means that I will be borrowing about 1 minute and 50 seconds of fake gamer girls video, and I'm gonna borrow 1 minute and 40 seconds at the start and 10 seconds right at the end of the video. If you want to see the full video, it is in the description down below. Go and give her a view, because this isn't me trying to steal somebody else's views. This isn't me going, oh, this person is obviously bad. No, they're obviously in a bad situation where the game that they like and enjoy just doesn't work how it's supposed to be working. But honestly, by this point, the relationship that she has with the game and with her channel is not a very healthy one. And I imagine that is true for a large amount of people that are influencers for The Sims 4. So let me just play the video and then we can talk about it more in depth, the way that she's doing it with me on a bigger screen. And yes, I am aware that my green screen ends in here. I did not arrange it properly, so you get to see a tiny bit of my room, but don't worry, you'll see a lot more of my room quite soon, because I only want to borrow a tiny bit of video from this video and then move on to have a conversation with you guys. So let's begin.
I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I know that sounds like I'm giving up, but I'm not. It just I physically I can't do it anymore. Where are the gameplay videos, Fake Gamer Girl? Why haven't you been posting that many gameplay videos? Where are the gameplay videos? What if I told you I'm trying, but my game keeps crashing? This video is not a video to say I'm not playing The Sims anymore. It's not a video to say that I'm giving up. I'm not having burnout again. None of that. We're over that now. This is literally a video about me complaining that my Sims game keeps crashing. That's all it does. Yes, this is another talking head video. And if you make fun of my setup, we are not disagreeing anymore. I'm just eating you at this point. If you see my last couple gameplay videos, you know that they all pretty much end the same, with my game crashing. And I don't have a script, and I think that's like pretty obvious. We're just having another one-to-one, okay? I am filming this video on the 18th of October 2024, okay? This is just to timestamp it. My game is fully updated. I'm up to date with every single patch, and The Sims 4 Life and Death EP has not come out yet. Here's the thing. I think this is a very important video to make because it's not just me. It's not just me. For once, the world doesn't revolve around me. So many people are having so much trouble actually running their games now. And this is coming from someone who has every single pack. So I felt like, okay, maybe it's just a me issue. So many people are having trouble running this game, which is kind of upsetting. I'm not gonna lie, because of how expensive this game is. I think The Sims 4 has gotten to the point where it cannot handle the amount of packs it has. And I'm saying this out of my ass. I don't know anything about programming. I don't know anything about developing, and I'm not gonna pretend like I do know. But what I do know is that my game doesn't work for long stretches of time. I think I can get 30 to 45 minutes out of her before an issue starts happening, whether that's an infinite loading screen or the game just saying it stops working. And I know so many people have said, oh, just Alt F4, it forces the game to save for you. It doesn't do that for me. And here's the thing, I do have mods in my game. Yeah, you wanna click.
Okay, just about... We got the gist of it. She can only play for about 30 minutes before the game just outright crashes upon her. I kind of zoned out, so I missed the point that I wanted to stop at. So let's just watch right the ending of the video so that I can illustrate exactly what is very, very, very wrong with all of this.
A good time until I'm not. And lately, I am not having a good time. Okay, and I'm not gonna lie to you about it. She's got some problems and she needs fixing. I am still gonna have to buy the new expansion pack. That's the sad part.
I still gonna have to buy the new expansion pack. That is the sad point. Now, how about I'll put my setup down and we're just gonna sit down and talk to each other. Sound good? Good. Fake Gamer Girl, if you're seeing this video, I hope that you're at least gonna consider it. I don't know if other people have proposed this to you, but this is not healthy. None of this is healthy. Let's have a talk. Hello, welcome to my room. This is just me and myself again. Unfortunately, I am having road work done. Like, they're doing gas lines and they have been for quite a while. The noise is never ending, so I can't exactly find a quiet time to film. And what's even worse is that as we're approaching bonfire night in UK, whenever they're not making noise, people are outside firing fireworks for some reason. So this is just, it's just been a very, very, very noisy time in my life. I hope it doesn't get caught on video. And if it does, here's my explanation as to why. Now, we're gonna sit here and talk about what kind of toxic relationship it is to have a product that doesn't work, have to continue paying for said product that doesn't work, and then, of course, using a platform to sell a product to someone else while kind of pretending that the product does kind of work. Because majority of influencers playing The Sims 4 will be editing around the parts that are not working. They will be, you know, cutting together the crashed games. They will be like saving a lot and just like cutting out the saving because that is not an exciting bit. They're gonna just like be resetting other bugs and working around them. And they're gonna be pretending that they're having a good time. Because audience tends to be not attracted to nagging, whiny bitches. Audience tends to like wholesome fun things where it looks like people are having a good time. So now you have specialized channels that have specialized themselves to this one particular specific game. They have to look like they're having a good time. They have to continue paying for the product, or else their channel analytics and views and watch time will decrease if they're gonna try and move on to something else, as people will be like, this is not the content that I want to see. As a result, a lot of influencers will be selling you a product that doesn't actually exist. A bug-free Sims 4 version just doesn't actually exist. It's not there. It doesn't work for the influencers as much as it doesn't work for you. But you get to see this rosy picture of a game online that you then might be incentivized to buy, and that is how EA is making all the money. The fact that currently there isn't any alternative game to move to doesn't make this any better. So you have a vicious circle. How do you leave the vicious circle? Through bravery. You kind of have to be brave enough to take your channel to a game that, hear me out, doesn't break on you. I don't care if this is The Sims 3 or The Sims 2 or something entirely else altogether. I don't care if you're gonna try and move to Stardew Valley. If you're listening to this video and you're an influencer caught in that vicious circle, please, for the love of God, don't reward incompetence and bad sales decisions, or rather bad game-making decisions. Don't be like, I will give you my money no matter what, and I will advertise for your game for free in order to attract more people that then will be blamed themselves if their game doesn't work. Because guess what? Well, what incentive does EA have to fix anything or to make the situation marginally better? They are trying, but like, how hard are they trying when you have been facing problems for a very long time now? You know, when I started facing problems with that game at City Living, you know what I did? I left the game. I checked in from time to time. As far as I know, simulation lag did not get fixed. But we're getting to a point where apparently influencers can't run the game for as much as 30 minutes without it outright crashing. We're not even talking about like playing the game in live mode. We're now talking about being unable to even do build videos. We're talking about increased lag in fairly simplistic functionalities. We're talking about content producing people having trouble even cutting around and producing the flawless content that people ended up seeing. So you have to ask, how long can this rubber band stretch until it breaks? Because if you ask me, it should have already broken. Somebody should have already said, EA, this is not acceptable, and players should have left in droves. But not only did that not happen, but as you just witnessed by fake gamer girl, she feels that she has to buy the upcoming packs for a game that doesn't work, no matter how she feels about it. She can hate the game, she can have a very bad time because her game isn't running, but she feels like she has to still fork out money to EA in order to keep her career rolling. That is not good. I don't know which level of hell we got stuck in, but that is just really not good. And I really struggled to find another point in history where that would have gotten to gaming. But then again, social media is, last 20 years? YouTube is probably a bit younger than 20, honestly. I'm trying to count. I had my channel for 14 years. I know that some people have had their channels for longer, but I don't think that YouTube is 20. I think it's a bit younger than that. So that whole, and for a while, this hasn't been happening. Like, companies were not relying on influencers to advertise their games. And even better, even when companies began relying on influencers to advertise their games, influencers did not feel beholden to the companies like they are now. The channels that are hyper-focused on one game and one game only is a fairly new thing. And I think that the pitfalls of that are most obvious with something like The Sims 4, where the game no longer works, but EA still receives their money and influencers still continue influencing, and a long-running MMO like World of Warcraft. Anyone that has made their careers on a long-running MMO probably feels trapped by the long-running MMO, so even if the long-running MMO has a disastrous period, they're not incentivized to portray it as such. The thing is with MMOs is that you're not only relying on the influencer, you're relying on other people playing. You can't just have an illusion of other people playing or just like trying your game through free-to-play stuff, which you can in a single-player game like The Sims 4. So even if an MMO influencer was trying to upsell their MMO as not having a rough period, you're probably gonna notice a drop in population, gonna notice the MMO having a rough period around them. They're gonna be noticing it too. It is not so much if you're playing a single-player game that is now relying on you portraying it to your audience as if it is working when it is not working, and relying on you paying it money even when you're not having fun and not getting a working product. It's just pay money to continue running a channel that pays you money back. Please, for the love of God, don't get caught up in something like this. Have a bit more self-respect for this. I know that it is hard to step away from something that you love and that you truly enjoy and that it is making you money, but this is not honest work. You're not being honest with yourself, you're not being honest with your viewers, you're not being happy, for one thing. Fake Gamer Girl didn't sound very happy about playing The Sims 4 when The Sims 4 can't run. Fake Gamer Girl did not sound very happy about producing gaming content when their game doesn't run. And that is entirely understandable. But the issue is that my game doesn't work, so I will stop paying the company does not occur in this. Because her career is tied to this. And this is bad. Like, this is so many levels of bad. I find that people should be aware that this is what is happening, and anyone actually like stuck in the 9th circle of influencer hell, you owe yourself better. Step away. The moment one of you steps away, it will be easier for a second one to step away. Find a different niche. Find something else that you enjoy doing. There are a lot of other games that you can move. You can move backwards to a different Sims title. You can move to something else that's cozy, like Stardew Valley. You can move to a completely different genre whatsoever. Like, move to an MMO. Move to Skyrim. A lot of people have a good time moving to Morrowind. I don't care where you find your niche, but girls, this isn't it. Your niche can't be a broken game. You shouldn't feel like you're being held at gunpoint to pay for a game that doesn't function, and you shouldn't portray it as a good investment to everyone else. This game, at this point, in any universe that makes sense, should not be spreading until EA makes it into a good game. Until EA fixes everything that's wrong with it. Which is probably never, but in any universe that makes even the remotest lick of sense, this should not be happening. So have some personal self-respect. Have some self-respect for your wallet. Be brave. Take that step. Please, step away from something that isn't working. Yeah, that's about all that I have, and I don't blame these people. Taking a career change when, well, this is your career is a difficult thing. It is a risky thing. But for the love of heavens, at least try. At least try to go somewhere else. Don't get trapped being unhappy and paying money in order to be unhappy. Now that is the worst thing that you can do to yourself and to others and to your audience. The more we get used to stepping away from things that do not work, the better we're all gonna feel, and the more the companies will have to work to keep you as a client, to keep you as a customer, because that's what you are. You are generating the money, and not only are you generating the money, you're generating the free advertising. I'm sorry for such a, I don't know, angry-ish rant. I tried not making it mad. I'm also sorry for how my hair looks. I don't know what it is, but the days when I wash my hair, it looks the worst. Not only is it at the consistency of being straw-like, it also starts looking like I have a bowl cut. The moment I'm gonna sleep on it, my hair will distribute itself better and it will actually look a bit better. Anyway, I'm gonna try and not make a brand out of complaining about things. There's quite a lot of complaining people online. It's just not very nice to listen to. It's just that this is such a mind-boggling thing. And I don't know who else, don't think that anyone else is even talking about it. Like, this is not a good place to be. And if you find yourself doing this with any kind of product, please step away. This is not a good place to be. Anyway, I actually have exciting positive projects coming along where I'm talking to both occultists and also I'm trying some new products. I'm trying some new things from mostly modders, but it's very exciting. Hopefully those things don't fall through and hopefully this hair thing settles down and I can stop hating it and feeling like I look absolutely insane. So thank you for nice Patreon subscribers that support me to get here. Please pledge at a $3 rate. Now do remember that all the people on the list, it is a name. It is either their real name or how they chose to call on their account. It's no singular word is like summing up a large percentage of people, because sometimes people can call themselves something pretty interesting. And then you're like, oh, so this whole category of people is supporting you? No, that's just their Patreon name. That is just what I put down here. So now that you have that information, you can use it to your advantage if you want and pledge to people under funny names, or you can just, keep in mind exactly what I just said. That is exactly what it is. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope I'm gonna see you on my other videos. For the most part, currently I'm doing Bloodlines, but then I'm thinking about doing Arena, well, Elder Scrolls Arena, and I have those exciting projects that I talk about. I sometimes do occulty videos. I know it's not very like Sims-based, but I've done quite a few like Sims 2 playthroughs previously on this channel. It is a game that I still love and I still play, but I feel like if I would turn to it, one singular playthrough would be so long that I would turn away any people that are interested in something else, because like that playthrough would just keep on going and going and going. It's an endless simulation game. It's very, very hard to draw the line as to where we stop, and that tends to happen for a very prolonged amount of time. And when people are interested in a variety of content, getting stuck on something for that long of time is the opposite of good. It's the same as the highly specialized channel problem, where you're like, oh, so I cannot make videos outside this one niche. With like a variety channel, you're like, I want to actually do variety, and I actually want to get to other games and play them. I have quite a few games on my list that I kind of want to play during my playing game things that I am just not entirely sure because they don't perform that well on YouTube. Like, I have Lara Croft 1, 2, and 3, the remake version, because I never played it, so I would be very interested in playing it for my channel. But I just don't know the interest rates for that. And you try to aim for a variety, and you try to aim for the things that people are actually interested in, because that's what YouTube's about. But regardless, I went on a different rant. So thank you for watching, and I hope that I'm gonna see you in my other videos. Toodaloo for now. Bye B.